Hi thread bangers, Vicky Lynn here. I've been asked a couple times how to make a messy corset tank. Something like this. Probably can't see it, it's kind of not bright. But it's not that hard. All it is a couple rectangles and some ribbon. So here's your tutorial. As far as materials and tools, you'll be needing a measuring tape, of course, scissors, your sewing machine, pins, and 10 small lengths of ribbon, about 4.5 inches each, a long piece of ribbon at 95 inches. This will be the part that you lace your whole thing up with. For the straps, you'll need your main colored fabric at about 17.5 inches long and 5.5 inches across. 2 of those, so 2 straps. Your main colored fabric. The measurements all depend on you. For the length, you'll be needing the biggest part of you around. So my biggest spot is my waist. Others, it just depends on, I guess, how you're built. And then you'll need a contrasting piece of fabric. I picked a green, satiny, Asian type of print for mine. And that you'll need 10 inches across, this way. But the length will all depend on your length, so you'll do some measuring. Your contrasting piece of fabric, after it's been hemmed all the way around, is to take your little strips of ribbon and fold them in half lengthwise. So they look like that. Then you fold them over your other fabric to pin them like this, just so you can get them hemmed underneath the edge. Something like that on the back. They're pinned like this, just so you can have the room for the lacing. And the way to get them even, my method was to put a piece right at the end and move it up a little bit, just so you can have room to hem it to the big piece of fabric, which is your base. And then I folded it in half to find the middle, to do the middle piece without having to do so much measuring. And in order to get the middle of this to put here, I measured it and pinned it. So now that it's pinned down, we are just going to sew along the edge, along the hem that you've already made, just so it looks like it's done in one foul swoop. And that's really it. Your straps are attached. All of these attached should look something like this. And it's all even, just so you can get the lacing down. And we'll need to attach it to your long piece, which has already been hemmed. And the way I did this is just by folding and pinning, since I'm too lazy to measure to the middle. If you want to be really, really precise, you can always do that. So I folded this one in half, the black. Stick a pin right here. And I can't get the pin in. Okay, there we go. And to add this piece on, you fold this in half, stick it right in the middle, along the top, and pin it down. So now that you've gotten it pinned and it's completely even when you fold it in half, you pin down the length and just sew along the edge along your original hemline on your contrasting fabric, just so it doesn't look like you've got all kinds of different seams going on, or you could, doesn't matter. And that's it. You just sew around the edge and you're almost done. Okay, so since you've got it in, just sew right down your hem. Trying to keep it as precise as possible, and you can sew just right over the straps, and that's as easy as it is. That's it. Just sew around all 4 sides, and that'll be it. So the next part is to take your strap pieces and fold them out, or fold them in half with the outside, the part that you want on the outside, which is my shiny side, on the inside. So just fold it down lengthwise and pin it. These will eventually be your straps. So it should look something like this, with the pins all along the edge. And then you'll just sew with your seam allowance like always. So now that this is all sewn up, it's not going to come apart, we're going to flip it inside out to make our straps look like they have no seams. And if you're doing thin straps, it could work, but I have no idea how, since I like thick ones. Sounded kind of bad, but alright, I'll go with it. Okay, there we go, all flipped out. So now what you're going to want to do is to take it and open it up, then fold the edges down, just so that you have a nice clean edge and it's not fraying or anything like that. So it should look like this. It's just folded in half. So you just do that kind of maneuver. Fold it in half, pin it, and do that to all 4 edges, then just sew a top seam onto it. And okay, so this is what your top seam should look like. You just sew right along the edge. Take the pin out, and that's it. Just pull it out and cut the little threads. This is what your little thing should look like. Now that you got your straps all done, all 4 sides, they're a little bit poofy, so you might want to iron them down. I'm not going until after I'm completely done with everything. You take your big piece inside out, so flip it this way, and just add your hem to the edge to close it up and make a big tube of fabric. Now your next step is to flip your tube of fabric that you now have right side out. So it should look like this, and you're almost done. Just the straps and lacing that's left. You're going to take your little straps, make sure the seam is on the inside, so you have your little seam right here, and put that on to the inside of your fabric, right along the edge of your contrasting fabric on the outside of it. So you'll have your strap eventually up here, and you pin it down. Then eventually you'll sew it. The next thing you do is turn the whole thing around so your back seam is visible. Take this edge and take it about 3 inches away from your back seam. So we'll measure out 3 inches and pin. And this is it. Almost done. Straps are stuck. And all that's left is to lace it up. So this is the finished product on my duct tape jig.